Hello, good afternoon. If you're watching this part of the video, you're watching the replay. So make sure to use hashtag replay so I can thank you so much for watching. If you want to be notified anytime that I go live, all you have to do, it's super easy, press down on my face and hit follow, ring the bell. If another brand ambassador shared this video with you, please make sure you go back and you shop with her. For those of you new here, welcome. My name is Katie. I'm a wife, I'm a mom, and I work full-time. I love makeup and skincare, and I truly believe every single woman wants to look and feel her best. And I have the tools and the resources to help you get there. And today, I'm going to be sharing with you 5 tips for stick eyeshadow application. Now, if you've been here throughout the month of January and now into February, you know I've been doing these 5-tip videos, all right? I have so much fun doing these, and if there's a specific video that you want to see, make sure you let me know in the comments so I can create that for you. Before we get started, this is tip number 1. I'm sure this comes at no surprise, but I talk about this all of the time. You've got to use eye primer, all right? Eye primer is great at really allowing those pigments to pop. It's going to help prevent them from creasing. It's going to help hold them in place all day long. This is even more important with stick eyeshadow, I have found, because they can move. So if you get the stick eyeshadow from any company, not just Unique, but any company, and you feel like it's slipping a little bit, get an eye primer, apply it with your ring finger, and let that dry for about 5 minutes or so before you go in with that eyeshadow. All right. So that is tip number 1. Use an eye primer. All right. Like I said, it's going to really allow that pigment to stick. It's going to give it a nice smooth canvas. It's going to enhance those pigments, help it stay in place all day long, and let it dry for about 5 minutes or so. Now, while I'm letting that dry, I'm going to do a couple of things. Number 1, collagen. And I just put an order in. Somebody the other day, they were like, you need all the lip stains. The lip stains are amazing. So I ordered the 2 other lip stains along with a couple of other products. So stay tuned because I'm going to be doing a bunch of swatching videos for the products that are part of this month's February special, which is select lips and eyes, right? So those select lips and eyes products, 2 products for 15% off, 3 or more for 20% off. If you need the link, comment special. But in that order, I'm going to get a sample of the new collagen. So this is the collagen that Unique originally launched a couple of years ago. Now they're coming out with a new collagen. It's a better flavor. It's going to have more hyaluronic acid, which is really great at hydrating the skin. That's going to help minimize the appearance of fine lines and wrinkles. There's some other new ingredients added to the collagen that's just going to make it even better to really help brighten up the skin. I'm excited to try it, and it's going to come whenever I get that product for the unboxing. So make sure that you like and subscribe so that way when I do that unboxing video of those new lip products that I like, colors that I don't currently have, so I can do a full swatching video for you. You're welcome. And I'm going to sample the new collagen. If you need the link, just comment collagen and I can send it to you. You don't have to wait to get an order and just do a sample. You can get a 15-day supply. And if you have a subscription to the collagen, you will automatically get the new collagen in that subscription. Okay, collagen, check, done. Couple of other things, you all. If you're not in my group, comment group. I have a group over on Facebook where I talk about, products that are coming out and how to use the products. But then during the month of February, we're focusing on self-care, self-love. So if you want to get some tips and tricks around self-care, make sure you comment group and I can add you to that group. The last thing I want to share with you before I get into some more eyeshadow stick application tips is if you have not gotten a planner for 2024 or the one you have, you cannot stand. And believe me, I've been there, done that. Make sure you comment plan. After spending years using different planners and not finding one that I loved, I decided to create my own. It's available over on Amazon. I put the link down in the description, but you can also comment plan and I will send it to you. All right. So let's get into tip number 2 with the eyeshadow sticks. All right. The first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to create a really nice neutral base. And I talked about this in my video yesterday, but anytime you balance out the tone of the lid, it's going to help give you a little bit more of a youthful appearance. But this is going to really help your eyeshadow sticks go on seamlessly and really help enhance the stick shadow itself. All right. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go in with this Moodstruck Addiction Shadow Palette number 10. And I'm going to go in with this matte color right here. It's called Modern. I'm just going to take my fluffy crease brush and I'm just going to lightly dust that all over the lid. Again, just kind of create a nice little base here for when I put on the eyeshadow sticks. All right. So just dusting that on. And like I said, I love having a really great base shadow like this in my makeup bag because, again, it really helps to balance out the tone of the lid. And as I've gotten to have more mature skin, I can't just put foundation on because it settles into the creases and the fine lines of my eyelid. So by using an eyeshadow that's specifically designed for the type of skin that you have on your lid, you're going to get a much more smoother appearance and application. All right. Now there's a ton of really gorgeous eyeshadow sticks to choose from. This is my personal favorite. And I think I'm going to do like a personal favorite for each one of the products that are part of this month's special. I'm going to do a video picking out one color from each of those products that is on special and talking to you about why it's my favorite shade, why I love it, all that good stuff. All right. So with the eyeshadow stick, this one right here, Gleaming. This is my favorite. It is such an awesome pigment. Stay tuned. I'm going to be doing a dedicated video to swatch all of the eyeshadow sticks. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that Gleaming and I'm going to apply it all over the lid. Now, as soon as you get done applying it, this is tip number 3. You want to blend it out. All right. These shadows are designed not to budge. So once they start drying and setting in place, they're not going to go anywhere. But you want to blend out, especially this Gleaming, right along the edges so you don't have any harsh lines. You can see this is a really nice light shadow. I love this to really help brighten up the eye. This is good for like a no makeup look, but it just has a little bit of glimmer to it, right? Absolutely fabulous. All right. So tip number 1, use an eye primer. Tip number 2, make sure that you kind of create that neutral base. Tip number 3, make sure you blend it out very, very quickly. All right. Because as soon as it starts to dry, you're not going to be able to blend it out. Thank you so much. I appreciate you watching and for your kind words. All right. So I'm going to go in now on the other side. And again, I'm going to just take that stick shadow. And as soon as I'm done, I'm going to start blending it out. All right. Right along the edges there. I don't want to blend on the glimmery part itself because that can cause the metallic to look a little bit muddy is how I describe it, but you just don't get as vibrant pigment, right? So really, really subtle. Absolutely love this. The other thing that you can do is if you want a little bit more intensity, once you apply that first layer, you can go back in and you can add more. All right. I always say start out with less because it's easier to work with. But then as you get to blending and building that shadow, you can add more to it to get the level of intensity that you want. So again, if you want that pigment to pop just a little bit more, you can go back in with a second coat. But it's so much easier to start out with less and blend and work it out versus starting out with too much. And then you are spending an obscene amount of time trying to blend and make it look good. All right. So less is more. Build that product and blend along the edges while it is still damp, and then it's going to set. Speaking of setting, what you can then do is set that shadow. Again, I have found for me that the stick shadows they can move a little bit easier. So eye primer is key, but then setting it is key as well. So the question is, which eyeshadow stick are you using? This is the unique Moodstruck eyeshadow stick in the color Gleaming. And if you need the link, just comment eyeshadow and I can send it to you. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back in now with that Moodstruck Addiction Shadow Palette number 10. There is a shadow in this palette that to me is so magical. And it's this one here. It's called Dizzy. It looks good on its own. It looks amazing on top of any of your other shadows, especially if you're going for more of a metallic look. You can just tap that on. And again, this is going to kind of help hold that shadow in place. It's not going to cause it to crease, and it's going to add just a little bit more lightness to it, because that Dizzy is a gorgeous translucent shimmer. And so this is great at just making that even more bright. And it's not going to settle because I just tap that powder all over the lid. All right, so there you have it. Yes, do I have any recommendations for priming the eyes? I personally, I've used several different eye primers. I really like the Unique Moodstruck Eye Primer. It has like the perfect amount of grippiness where you can still blend it into the lid, but your shadow can also blend and move. I've used other eye primers where they just are so grippy that you have a hard time blending the shadows, but you also don't want it too slick that the shadows just go all over the place, right? This eye primer is the perfect balance between being just enough grippy to allow that pigment to stay in place, but you can also still work it and blend it like I did today. All right, so there you have it. If you have any questions about the eyeshadow sticks, don't hesitate to ask. If you like these types of videos where I share with you just 5 tips and tricks for a single product, let me know that in the comments below. Be sure to subscribe to my channel and ring the bell so that way anytime I go live or I post a new video, you're notified. Have a great day.